I had originally planned on talking this week about a topic along the lines of being prepared. And you might think of being prepared as having backup plans, contingency plans, that type of thing. And while that's all well and good, um, an event happened, a personal family medical issue, which was rather severe and significant. Um, Kind of changed what I kind of want to talk about, and talk about a more personal story here. Um, and I think as entrepreneurs who might be watching this, you might be able to relate to this because a lot of us kind of have we work for ourselves, and we have our families that kind of rely on what we're doing, and so you might be able to relate to this story. So at the beginning of this month, on September 1st, my wife started having some issues at home. I won't get into the details or whatever. So we ended up going to the emergency room. When we got to the emergency room, she started having seizures. This is a first for her. She's never had seizures before, and was a huge shock to me. And I didn't know what to expect. I knew nothing really about seizures. I never knew anyone who had them or anything like that. And so it was a real big shock to me. I was completely unprepared. Doctors were asking me all sorts of questions. Um, what kind of medications is she on? And does she have any allergies? All this family medical history, things like that. I was completely unprepared to answer most of those questions. I knew some of the answers, but only like partially. Like I knew what medication she was on, but I didn't know like what the doses were or things like that. And other questions that they were asking me, I wasn't prepared. I know it makes me kind of seem like it's terrible, like you should just know these things. And you're right, I should know these things. But I was unprepared. So looking at my own personal life, I had to kind of do an assessment of what else do I not know off the top of my head without having to look up this information that I can't recall real quickly. What else do I not know? I should probably organize this information. I should probably have a list of all of my wife's medications that she might be taking. I should have a list of any allergies that anybody in our family has, including my parents and in-laws and other relatives that might be around, because I might be put in that position where I might have to be providing this information not just for my wife but for any number of other people. So kind of bring it back full circle to be more a little bit on topic, in a business related context. What are some things that you're unprepared for? Think about absolute worst case disaster scenarios that you're not prepared for. You don't have the answers for. Or if you do have the answers, it would take too long for it to be relevant for you to get those answers, for whatever the problem is. Go through your business and assess what would be a catastrophic event to our business if this happened today. What would put us under? What would cause significant financial troubles, cash flow or otherwise, to the business if this whatever this event is that happened, and come up with a contingency plan. Put down some information. If it's needing to have information at hand, get that information. Put it somewhere. Put it in a folder, a binder, a folder in Dropbox or something, and make sure that everybody who needs to know knows where this stuff is. Planning for medical emergencies is something that I never really thought of at our age. I mean, my wife is in her 30s, very active, very fit, and gets out and runs and does all this stuff. Never in a million years would I think that I'd have to take her to the hospital for something like this. That could potentially have sidelined all of that, with what the diagnosis could have ended up being. Fortunately, I think we're going to be okay. Doctors are still kind of running their tests and doing their thing, but it was a completely huge eye opener for me. And it's something that I never want to have happen again in business, personal life, or otherwise. I want to be prepared for all the crap that life can throw at you, that the business world can throw at me, and everything that goes along with it. So the kind of takeaway over the last couple of weeks for me is be prepared. Be prepared for those unexpected things that you never know what might be coming your way.